Hey everybody, welcome back to Row Country. Today we're making this Farmhouse Country DIY box wreath. Stick around and see how easy and cheap it is to make. Today we're going to be using this 97-cent boxwood from Walmart, the Mainstays brand. You get 5 little pieces per bunch. I use 2. We're also using a set of these 8-inch wreaths from the Dollar Tree. Now you get 2 of those in a pack. These ornaments were part of an LTD haul that I did. You should check that video out. We're going to use some twine, scissors, ribbon, glue gun, and some excess burlap that I had on hand. So this wreath form that we're using is an 8-inch. This is one of the best buys at Dollar Tree. These came out last year, but this year they're finally stocking them in my Dollar Tree. You get 2 per package. So for each wreath, we're going to count 50 cents. We're also going to use this piece of burlap behind it. And the reason why is because this is going in a kitchen window for me. And I wanted the back of the wreath to actually be a little more complete, I guess, from the outside, because when I look from my outside into my kitchen window, I do see these wreaths hanging in my window, and I wanted the back to kind of be pretty as well. But because this is country farmhouse, it's not going to, we're not looking for perfection. We're just actually looking for something to cover the wreath form itself, and it makes it easier to attach the boxwood, I think. So this is a piece of just excess burlap that I've had laying around for a while. This project came to be because I wanted to challenge myself to use some of the items that I have in my craft stash, and so this ended up being the perfect little craft to do with that. So what I'm doing is, and you'll notice again, this burlap, it is ripped and torn and it's not finished, and that's fine. If you want a more complete or finished off look, you could definitely take a roll of burlap ribbon and wrap the wreath form if you wanted to. But I've decided I want to take a piece of this burlap and I want to cut it in about 3-inch strips, and that is going to allow me to go ahead and cover up that wreath form and make it look finished from the back. And I think again it's the perfect foundation for the boxwood. So now that I have cut these into 3-inch strips, I'm going to take apart the packaging, and again, you get 2 wreaths for $1, so that's awesome. They have these 3 spines, one at 12 o'clock, one at 5 o'clock, and one at about 7 o'clock on this ring. And I'm going to wrap the burlap around the entire wreath form, but there are 3 rings, and what I'm going to do is put some hot glue at the top and the bottom, so the outer 2 rings will get just a little bit of hot glue to tack down the burlap so that it stays in position. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap this burlap around the wreath. Now again, we're not looking for perfection. These do not have to be wrapped in such a way that there's a particular amount of space in between each wrap. You do this as loosely or as tightly as you want. When you get to the 5 o'clock position, you'll want to, again, just a little bit of hot glue on the inner and outer ring just to kind of keep it in place and so that you can continue to wrap around. So you'll get down to the 7 o'clock, depending on how much ribbon you've used, you'll get down to the 7 o'clock, and again, a little more hot glue. I'm going to add now another piece of the burlap that I cut down to finish this off. So I'll add a little bit of hot glue just to keep it in position. Once again, perfection is not necessary. It doesn't matter that it's not particularly or perfectly lined up. We'll just tack it on there, and then we'll continue to wrap around until we get back to the 12 o'clock position. And so now our wreath form has been wrapped in the burlap, and I did off camera go ahead and trim off any of the excess that was kind of laying around. I'm using one of the ornaments that I hauled in my LTD commodities haul, as well as one of these boxwood picks. Now they're 97 cents. I'm actually using 2 picks. You get 5 stems on each pick, so it's going to be a total of 10. And the reason being is because I wanted mine, you know, boxwood is supposed to be condensed and really form-fitting. I wanted mine to be a little more not so form-fitting. I don't know the best way to describe it. You'll see it at the end. But these, what I like about these is you can cut these off. And because we use burlap, I'm not objectionable to the fact that some of the burlap will be showing through where the stems or the leaves on these stems kind of splay apart, and you'll again see that as we go forward. But I'm just trying to be sure that my ornament, I really love how this ornament is made with the metal, I guess it's a tobacco basket, and then it has that piece of wood in the center, and I want to make sure that it is not actually hidden by this boxwood. So I've decided to cut down the stem on the boxwood a little bit more, and all we're going to do is add some hot glue to the end and then lay it down onto the burlap. And we're going to continue to do that going around the wreath. Now, again, I'm one of these crafters. I don't really measure very much. I just kind of laid down these pieces as they overlapped the bottom of the first piece that I put down, and I just went around the wreath. So this is what the one stem looks like. And if you're the kind of person who a sparse bit of greenery works for you, or you are going to add in different greenery, I think for 97 cents, this is a pretty good coverage, especially on this smaller 8-inch wreath. But again, I wanted it to be a little more fuller, so I am going to go back and I am going to cut down one more of those stems or pick, and we're going to use 5 more stems to go around there. So if you're looking for a price right now, we're 50 cents into the wreath form. We are 97 cents times 2 into the greenery. The burlap was free. We're using hot glue that we have on hand. So right now we're at about what, $3, $2.50 into this. I mean, this is cheap at its best, and it's going to turn out so pretty, you guys. You're going to be like, I could never find a boxwood wreath for even under $10 and be able to purchase it. This is a win in my book. So again, we're just going to go around and we're going to fill in. And at this point, guys, this is what 2 picks looks like on that 8-inch wreath, and I think it's just absolutely beautiful how full it is. So once again, I'm trying to work with the placement on the boxwood versus the ornament. And again, that's in an LTD commodities haul that I did. I will make sure that there's a description or the link is in the description below. We're going to be using some burlap ribbon to actually hang this in my window. And so what I want to do is remove the little hanger that came with the ornament. And I decided on this red and burlap chevron wreath, or not wreath, ribbon. And the reason being is because my kitchen is actually done in Americana. And I don't mean like the 1980s Americana. I'm talking more about the red, white, and blue. My kitchen cabinet bases are done in a beautiful hail navy blue, and then my cabinets on top are white. So I really like this red, white, and blue. How I'm going to go ahead and attach the ornament is with some twine, and I've just sort of done a loop around the middle metal stem going through that tobacco basket there on the corner. So it's sort of looped there, and then I'll take the twine and wrap it around the entire wreath form and just tie it in a knot. That's what that looks like there with all 4 corners done, and then we'll go ahead and trim that off. Now the red and burlap chevron ribbon. I want that to hang in the middle section, and I want it to be even on both sides, so I'm eyeballing that part of it. But that's how I want this to actually hang from the window in my kitchen. And so off camera, I went to my kitchen window and I determined really how far down this ribbon really needs to be, or how long it needs to be in order to be hung into the kitchen window. And so what I've done is we've pulled that through the wreath form. I hope you can see that very well, but you pull that through the wreath form and up and over. And then what I determined was I needed about 5 inches from the top of the wreath to go to the top of the window sill where I'm going to hang it from. And I'm taking my ruler to sort of hold that loop in place, and then we'll come down and add some hot glue to the wreath form itself, and then we'll trim it off and make sure that it matches the back, and we will hot glue that ribbon down to the back as well. And so that's what the back of the wreath is going to look like. That's what I'm going to see when I look through my kitchen window, and I'm okay with that. Totally fine with it. And so at this point, everything is good and attached, but I realized that I need to kind of fill in some more boxwood underneath the ribbon. I did determine that I want the ribbon to go up over it. So all I've done is I've pulled a piece of that boxwood, added some more hot glue to it, and tucked it under one of the pieces. It's a little off camera there, but it is filled in. And again, I don't care so much about that burlap showing through. I feel like the chevron ribbon and the burlap around the wreath form itself sort of blend in together, and that's totally fine for me. I just think this turned out so pretty. Let's give you a breakdown. 2 picks at 97 cents, 50 cents for the wreath form, $1 for that chevron ribbon, and about $4 for that ornament. So that's $4, $5, $6, $7.50. We're gonna go ahead and hang this with a command hook, the kind that has the Velcro on it. I'll show you here real quick, but it has the Velcro, and because it's so lightweight, I'm going to actually cut it in half, so I'm able to use one command strip to actually hang this instead of needing 2. But I'll cut it in half, and then we will go ahead and add some hot glue to the back of that. Now what I did is I took my ribbon and entire wreath to the window, and I sort of figured out where it was going to hang, and I put this little bend in it. And now, since we've got that command hook cut in half, we'll just take some hot glue and we'll attach hot glue to the command strip, and then we'll hang it in our window. And oh my gosh, guys, here it is. This is how it turned out. We're talking $7.50. You can't buy a boxwood wreath for $7.50 and have it customized. This is what I'm replacing. I'm going to definitely be doing another one of these wreaths for the other side and using my other ornament that I got in the haul. But this is the old wreath. I had it for about 2 years. I've decided to go this route instead. I really love the farmhouse look of this, and I hope you do too. Thanks for sticking around and watching my video, guys. Don't forget to comment, like, and please subscribe. YouTube says that you're watching, but you're not subscribing. I really need some subscribers. It does help my channel. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.